Everyone. My name is Michael Nguyen. I'm the host of the show Extreme Ads Makeovers, and today I'm excited to go over a live case study with you on how I tear down Chanel old ads and generate new ads, validate them through Facebook ads, and eventually you can see the new ad and the potential ROI. So let's get started. Okay, so the topic here today is about Chanel ads, and um, let's go quickly. Anybody know about Chanel? Let me see. So Chanel is basically a French luxury fashion house founded in 1910 by Coco Chanel. Right, and the brand is known for its high quality craftsmanship and luxuries, and let me see. So, who's currently working for Chanel's marketing insights, right? And according to Google, Chanel global media buying account is now with Omnicom, and Chanel ended its relationship with WPP after almost 20 years, and they chose Omnicom after a competitive pitch. And let's see, they have about $1.77 billion in annual budget for brand support activities, and they use elegant store design, inventive mannequin uses, and point of sale marketing to entice clients to their boutique stores. Okay. All right. So let's see what we are going to cover today. So the objective today is that we are going to cover the following. So we're going to go over the OADs, and we are going to remodel OAD to new ads, and then I'm going to share with you the ad validations, which means that how those new ads perform when you actually pay Facebook to draw traffic, to draw like eyeball attention, reach to those ads. And then I'll share with you some of the insight, the takeaway from our experiment. And then the last one is what are some of the next steps that you can do or Chanel can do. Now, before I forgot, and you can, if you, like I said, whether you are running pay ad by your um, marketing agency or you have an internal marketing team, there's only a 99.9% that your teams they are not running your ad correctly, and that's why I want to. This is the offers that you can have me do a second opinion ads critique consultation that I will personally review any of your ads so that you can see how I increase your SROI. And the challenge is that this is a common problem that I saw when I did the entire Extreme Ads Makeover for brands. And your team think that they have tested 20 ads, but in reality, they've really just tested 2 ads 10 different times. So let me repeat one more time because I think it's very important. Your team, your marketing agency, and your internal team think they have tested 20 ads, but they really just had 2 ads 10 different times. And during the this live presentation, I'll share with you what I meant by there's really 2 ads involved. Okay, so we jump to the ads audit, and those are the 2 ads that I pull from Facebook that Chanel's were using to promote for their Chanel watches. And you can see this; those are they appear as if they're 2 ads, but that you can see I'm gonna change it to a pen. As you can see that the language they're pretty much the same. You see the language over here and the language over here. It's a creation inspire over here. They're pretty much the same. And then this is the introduction to the model, right? So the only difference is these areas, right? You have only one creative, and this is you have like a carousel of creative. So that's really the only difference. But as far as the ad copy concerns, this is the same. You see, even WPP is a powerhouse, is a huge marketing agency, but there's only one ad involved, one copy involved for this. So I'm going to share with you what I like on this, and you can go from there. So see, turn back here. Um, so when you click on learn more, you get to another page, and eventually this is uh, the um, uh, the products that the customer will see. So let me walk through what I like about this ad. Well, obviously the quality of the photo is stunning, right? They Chanel the high the model misdapped to do the photography is really beautiful. You see the angle over here. So they about the original ads, and you see the model have a very nice look. And this is her watch, and this is one variation of the ad. And then on the other variation, you can see a different pose of the ad with the watch and the real watch on this side. And I've been doing a lot of ad critiques, and I have to admit, Chanel, the quality of the photography is just stunning. I mean, it's just magnificent. It's just another level. And the close-up shot of the watch is just, like I said, it's beautiful as well. So that's the quality of the creatives, right? And I also like how the team use so we already talked about the creatives. Let's talk about how the ad copies, right? Now, I like um, the variety of the mix between visual and auditories that Chanel team were using. For example, the user word echo. That's an auditory word, right? Now, with Facebook, it kind of target to that's how you see a lot of visual stuff going on, right? But when you mixed between visual and auditory word like echoes and interlaced, those kind of words. Um, so it kind of those words activate the auditory sense besides the visuals, and as a result, it adds another depth to your ads, right? So all of a sudden, you can hear with letter echoes the chain of classic Chanel handbags. You see how much depth they can add to your ad. And my last point is that the message and creative match. You see the model, Lily Rose Depp, where's the watch, and the close-up photos of the watch to highlight what she's wearing. And you see that she raised her hand up. You see, and so that's really I can see the message and the creative match in here. So it's really good. And on the other hand, I can see rooms for improvements, improvements. So as you can see, the control ads is decent. But I like to see more angles. This is a very high-end products over is up to $6,000 products watch, and I like to see more angles such as the FOMOs, and the ability to wear some simile such as history on your wrist. I mean, there's just a lot more angles yet to be shown, displayed, activated, and demonstrated from just one control ad. If you have only one ad like this one, I mean, there isn't a whole lot of stuff that you can jam in just one ad, and that's what I saw. And when having just one control ad, you put your campaign into a lot of risk. For example, the lack of A/B testing is that sort of limits the insight that you can get from every ad. How about targeting limitations when you only have one ad? It's hard to do multiple targetings. And how about creativities and the message fatigue? So that's something called ad fatigue. So over times, when a lot of people see the same ad over and over again, the same message over and over again, they got bored, right? They got bored, and um, and the shoppers or the prospective shoppers, they mentally shut off or shut down your ads. When they saw them, oh, I've seen this ad before, oh, I've seen this model before, right? So they mentally shut off or shut down your ads, and as a result, your ad can become less effective. Okay, so what are some of uh, the optimization that we can do? Okay, so let's start with this. Now, based on what I saw from the landing page and the ad, I draw the conclusion that this is the avatars that Chanel is targeting. So the avatars, their target audience are sort of sophisticated women between mid 20s and 60, global awareness of and a penchant for luxury and exclusivities. So this is what we are going to target in our new ads. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. Um, I want to introduce to you the Bionic framework that I use to generate the ads. There's a total of 17 models or layers that you can use. And because of the time, I want wear you down or bore you down with the details. But the first model is called the relationship. That's when I analyze your products, the company in this case that will be the watch, the Chanel watch, and the company itself that will be the Chanel's, and figure out what are some things that customer love, something the customer hate, and the worst enemies, right? The customer's best friends. So that's how we can find additional angles that you may have missed, because most of the times agencies they stop right here. They only pair between the product and the advertisers, right? And which is you. And they most of the time, about 99.9%, they ignore the remaining edge. So that as a result, the ad, is not interesting. And as you can see, so next one is about the visual, the imageries, and use different type of word that can trigger the imaginary or auditories or kinesthetic. How about emotions? You can activate different feelings, like anger and joy. Because that's why you can see, like, news company like CNN or Fox News, or company is a news business. They don't sell positive news. They sell negative news, right? Bad news, because bad news can attract a lot of attention. Bad news can attract the level of attentions that you can get. How about different type of statements? When you use questions, you have a different result. But when you use statement, condition, and quotations, you can have a different result as well. How about using the times? You can using the past, the present, and the futures. Um, how about the next one is toward and away from, because humans are driven toward desires and away from fears, or both. You can leverage both in your ads. How about use the futures? How about the capabilities? Okay, level of identities that you can use. How about using the proof angles? Proof, more talking about the credibilities, bring in the credibility and the believability in your ads. How about numbers? You can use a different type of numbers, such as the price, the earnings, statistics, and so to give the power, to inject the power of numbers in your ads. Language devices, you can mix and match and add something like the sarcasm, the rhythm, the simile in your ad to make it more interesting. Names, how about using the assistant name from the movies, radio programs, books, so on and so forth, to give your ad a sense of pop culture, a sense of currency, a sense of recency. Same thing with the name. You can use the locations, the landmark location, city, reason, so on and so forth, to, like I said, to tie up your product with something that they are already familiar with. Like, for example, the Golden Gate, or some of the beautiful landmarks out there in the world. How about using the direct marketing offers models? You can often see things like the guarantee, the free sign up, no obligation. Those are the characteristics of direct response marketing, and you can use the response marketing in your ads to make it to of course, you need to be aware of not overusing it, so that your ad can become uh, uh, you know um, can over promise, and it can get to the bottom line of scam. How about mixing it with ad structures? You can do verb swappings, noun swappings, adjective swapping to make your ad more interesting. And the last one is the shame model. This is a little more complex, because you introduce the moral guilt, the rejections, the failures, the stupidities, the defeat, the vulnerability in your ads. So those are complex and really hard to find. That's why you have to do a little more research, dig a little bit deeper to find those complex emotions to bring it in your ads. And you can see how I did it in the next things. So, based on the Bionic frameworks, I was able to generate about 12 ads. I'm gonna quickly go through the 12 ads with you, so that you can understand how it's made. So, ad number one. So here's what happened. So what happened is that I tried to pack as many models on the Bionic framework as possible in the ads, right? And then try to form this model when you locked in the amount of models, and then that's when you can generate as many ads as possible, as many ads making sense as possible when you locked up the amount of models on the green one. For example, at number one, we're using the relationship between customers, advertisers, the imagery, the visual, the emotion, the feeling of joy and anticipation, the time of past and present, the capabilities and is and does, and the proof. In this case, we are using the powerful associations. How about numbers and dates and language devices and metaphors, the location, the city, and historical? And same thing. That's what I'm trying. So now there are so many possibility and permutations, and like I said, what I'm using is just a very very tiny sections of the very tiny possibilities, right? For example, instead of using visual, you can use auditory or kinesthetic. Right, in motion you can use joy. Instead of joy and anticipation, you can put in, like, anger, disgust, or like a envy. You can mix and match with a lot of combinations, and that when you locked in the models, that's when you will use the model to think about what are some of the ads. Okay, so let's go with ad number one. This is the headline: rediscover timeless elegance with Chanel Premier Edition Original. A reissue of Chanel first ever watch, the Premier Edition Original, is more than just a timepiece. It's a statement inspired by the iconic N05 fragrance bottles and interlaid with leather, um, um, reminiscent of classic Chanel handbags. You see, and this is how the first ad was made. And because of the interest of time, I just copy and paste the ads so that you can see the result, the ad result from applying those models. And same thing with ad number two, where you're using the same models, right? And then, for example, the timepiece that echoes Chanel's legacy, the Premier Edition Original. How about at number three? You can wear history on your wrist. Chanel iconic premiere reissue. That's really interesting. So you see how it's done? You see how powerful it is, right? And using the same amount of model, the model that you can get a lot of, from those models, you can get a lot of interesting ad with different angles. How at number four, so at number four, the same thing from Paris with Audacity, right? At number five, Chanel craftsmanship meets timeless design. And at number six, the experience, the spirit of freedom. And you see this one? Okay. All right. So for the first six ad, those are the models being used. Now from ad number seven, eight, and nine, which I just mix it up a little bit, right? For example, ad seven, eight, nine, use the instead of using joy and anticipation, we use to put out the pans. We use angers, envies, and defiance, right? And then with the device of slang, tragedy, and using the defeat kind of the shame model of defeat with the future warnings, right? And the statement of condition instead of just a regular statement, and to see how new ads were being made. Miss out on Chanel first watch. Don't let history repeat again. See, that's a warning, right? That's a warning. Miss out. And if you did not snack condition if you did not snack Chanel first ever watch, here's your shot at redemption. The premiere edition original ain't just a watch, it's a statement. But here's the kicker. If you don't grab it now, it's warning. You are setting yourself up for another defeat, right? Is defeat. Don't be that person, a tragedy. Don't be that person who missed out twice. And it's a tragic tale you don't want to be part of. You see, the ad literally incorporate all of the models being locked in over here, right? From the emotion of anger, envious, defiance, which became when you defies, and you set yourself up for another defeat. Okay, so now we got how about using number eight? Same things. We are using the emotion of angers and envy and defiance, right? Still wearing that old thing. Still wearing that old thing. Time for a rewatch update. Time for a rewatch update, right? So this is angers, right? Still rocking with that outdated watch, and time to level up with the Chanel uh, Premier Edition Original. But if you think condition, it's just another watch drop, think again and miss out. You are looking at the world of regret. World of regret. You see, and don't let envy eat you up when you see others flaunting it. It's a tragedy. You see, beautifully, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, what now we got? Same thing that you can see how it's made right here. Okay, now if you don't know Chanel legacy, you are missing out big time. So the same kind of model being used. Now at number 10, 11, and 12, we are same thing. We are using a different, just mix it up a little bit. So we use anticipation, sadness, surprise, right? And the time of question, the statement of questions. And in this time, we instead of using defeat, we are leveraging the stupidity, vulnerabilities. This is another complex emotions. Curious about Chanel timeless elegance. Wait no more. Wait no more. So this is about what? Surprise. No, it's about anticipation. Questions, right? About question. Ever, you see wonder why some watches just stand out? Question. surprised, right? Surprised. They would be surprised on why some watches just stand out. And the Premier Edition Original makes such a buzz because it's not just a watch; it's a promise. It's a promise of elegance, timeless elegance. And here's the real kicker: miss out, you are just setting yourself up for the worlds of what if. Right? You look stupid. You look vulnerable. All right, and don't wait that tragic tale, sadness. Right? The theme is sadness. How about what else? Okay, so what have we got over here? What have we got over here? So the emotion, anticipation, sadness, right? Surprise. Ever wonder why Chanel stands out and discover the secret? And this is the questions. What makes Chanel the talk of the town? Talk of the town. Why are folks always so hooked when they see it? Because it's more than just a watch. It's a prediction of the future of fashions. And he's a heads up, if you don't get in on this, you're just setting yourself up for a major face palm stupidities, face palm moment. Don't play yourself. All right. What else? This one is about ready for a timepiece that leave others in awe. In awe. See, that's gonna be uh, make people look stupid, right? Make people look vulnerable. The language is, of course, question: why does Chanel Premier Original get all the love? Why does it leave everyone else in the dust? Because it's not just a promise, it's the futures. And here's the T. If you're not part of this journey, you're just exposing your own fashion blind spot, stupidities, right? Don't be that tragic story. So you see, that's how the ad was written. When you use the Bionic framework. Um, so next, I want to share with you the ad validations. So from all 12 ads, I went ahead and created an ad set in Facebook, as you can see. So the demographics is that I'm targeting people in Texas with the age range between 20 and 60-ish. And here are the 12 ads that I created. And guys, this is something that on your annual review with your agency or with your marketing agency or with your team, ask them, can you take a screenshot of the maybe your latest campaigns and see how many of these that you get? Like I said, most of the time, your team think that they create they test 20 ads, but they just really have two ads at 10 different times. You will see this pattern repeat and you see this pattern surface. And that's when you need that's when you you really need another set of eye to help you do a remodeling or makeover of your ads. And so from the 12 ads, and as you can see, each of the headlines are different, right? Each of the headlines are different that I just showed to you, and how they use a different kind of emotion. So for example, 9, 10, 11, 10, 11, 12 is all about the stupidities, and 7, 8, 9 is all about the shame of defeat, right? So that you can see, you can actually test 12 different ad ideas. So here the result that came out from the paid ads that I use. So looks like headline number 9 command the highest amount of reach and impressions. Also the highest amount of clicks, right? Meanwhile, headline number 3, they has maybe maybe it's about 6 times less than headline number 9, but they have a ridiculous low cost per click and a whooping cost click-through rate of 9.62%. What that means is that if you show the ad to 100 people, it's about 9 to 10 people would click on the ads, and this one only maybe 3 to 4 people click on the ads. So that means that this ad is very effective. Headline number 3 is very effective. And let's just understand, let's just go over one more time. This is the reach of the ad one more time. At headline number 9, command the highest amount of reach. Same thing with the impressions, over 382 impression. The amount of spent, well, it's no surprise that headline number 9, because of it is expensive reach and impression, it has the highest amount of ad spent on this one. How about the distribution of clicks? Headline number 9 has about 13 highest amount of clicks on the entire campaigns, and cost per impressions, cost per 1,000 impressions. Looks like they pretty close. Headlines number 3 seem to have the highest amount of CPM, the highest CPM about $11. And at headline number 9 is it's not that high, right? Headline number 3, headline number 3, this is the one that has the lowest amount of cost per click. So we talk about the click-through rate, right? Headline number 3 again having the highest click-through rate. Okay, so we in six graphs, you kind of see how 12 ads performs in the entire campaigns, all right? And it's really interesting. So now I'm put together. Those are the 2 winning ads that I saw. The 2 winning ads at number 9 with the highest amount of reach and impressions. So what it does is that 382 impressions and 351 reach, with the total amount, with highest amount of click of 13, but the cost per click is 25 cents. We click through rate of 3.4%, and this is the ad where we use the strategy, the defeat, the emotion of anger, envy, defiance, or disgust, or combinations. Any of these or the combinations. And headlines that if you don't know if you know Chanel's legacy, you are missing out, right? You see, we just go compared to the original ads, right? Compared to the original ad, we just go a very different route, right? Very different route. Instead of just talk about the product itself, for me, I think although the feature and benefit kind of ad has its own role and play in the entire digital marketing's advertisement, but if you just if you just overuse it, it just make your ad boring. For me, it's boring. But this ad, for example, they are different, right? They just engage, they just activate or just stir up the emotion. That if you're a fan of Chanel, it just stir up the emotion that, hey, are you a Chanel fan? Are you big enough, or are you really dedicated to the brand enough? Are you willing to miss out Chanel legacy? Be part of it. Be part of these campaigns by investing into this timepiece. This timepiece is not just a clock or a watch. It's a piece of legacy, and that's what I'm trying to sell. At number 3, lowest cost per click, cost per click. So this one is only 12 cents compared to 25 cents over here. Is almost it's 25 cents over here is almost 2 times cheaper. But I think it's 2 times cheaper, and the click through rate at 9.62%. So let's see how it used. Wear history on your wrist. You see how awesome is that? You're not wearing a watch. You are wearing history. Wearing history. And apparently apparently this is the you see the model applying here. They're totally different than the model being used on the at number 9. And you see is wear history on your wrist. Chanel's iconic reissue and step into a world where time meets elegance. And you see, that's really totally different. That's how your campaign would look like, right? It's not just about feature and benefit, boring feature and benefit ad. It's more about engaging emotion of the brand, leveraging the asset, the brand identity that your brand has cultivated over the years, and use it, in your ads. Um, let's go over the what if analysis. This is where I kind of I made some assumptions and figured out what would be the ROI if we use the winning ads. So question is that what if Chanel went ahead and doubled down on ad number 3 with the lowest cost per click? What would be the revenue impact? So the assumption here is this. Now the conversion rate I put here is 1%, given the normal conversion rate about 2% for any sales page. The Chanel watch is 59.50. And so when we double down on ad number 3 by increasing the number of click to 100,000 clicks. So we take 100,000 clicks and we multiply by the 25 cents, right? And then that's when we get $25,000. Now, at 0.01% conversion rate, 1,000 clicks, when you multiply that, when you multiply 0.01%, you get about 10 people buying your Chanels, right? About 10 people buying your Chanels. And I think I made a mistake over here. So I'm going to put the pens on. My pen, this is 10 shoppers. It's 10 shoppers, right? 10 shoppers. 10 shoppers. So 10 you multiply by 59.50, you got $59,500. So the ROI calculate by you take the revenue, you subtract the cost of ad, and then you divide by the cost. That's how I get the ROI of 138%. Very, very modest of 0.01%. What if you can get 0.05% when you do the ad? Then your ROI would jump to almost 10 times. You see, 5x the amount of conversion rate, but your ROI almost jumped 10 times, right? And what if you 10 times the amount of conversion, 10 times the amount of conversions, your ROI almost 20 times, or 2,000, almost 2280%. The ad ROI if you invest about $25,000 to get the 100,000 clicks. So that's really valuable given the ad budget that Chanel had. $25,000 is just like a dime for them. They just, for them it's just like a dime. It makes no difference in the ad budget. But the potential is huge. You can get over 2,000% for a $25,000 investment. Man, I'm game. Okay, what are some of the insight I want to share with you? Okay, so insight I want to share with you is this. At number 9, using the emotion, angers, envy, defiance, and disgust, and shame of defeat, recommends the highest amount of impression, reach, and clicks, but with the highest cost per clicks. So it appears that when users or when prospective shoppers saw or heard a message using a different tone of defeat and angers versus the regular joy, neutral tone, or positive or neutral tone, the ad could properly catch their attention, right? So of course, marketing 101 said you will need attention. Attention is the very first thing that you need to capture. Without attention, all other marketing objectives become useless. And at number 9, achieve that goal. So what I would recommend is to modify the landing page accordingly to match the tone, to really, to match the tone of the landing page with the message, so to increase the overall click-through rate. because when what happened is that when users or prospective shoppers, they click on at number 9, they expect the very first thing they see is that really matching up with at least some of the emotion being used over here, like anger, envy, defiance, and disgust. But in this study, I did not change the landing page, but that's something that the Chanel team can work on, right? Can work on to infuse a little bit of copywriting, change a little copywriting, so that the match between the tone of the message and the landing page clicks. Having one control ad can seriously underperform in the entire campaigns. Imagine, without the insight from the 12 ads that I brought into the table, Chanel team has no way that there's no way that they can that they know that using the emotion angle of defeat, anger, and envies that can really increase the impression, the reach, and the clicks, right? Um, Apparently, if Chanel teams and their external marketing agency, what they are using now is not effective to come up with ad ideas, because nowadays ideas and creatives are the name of the game. So I just would strongly recommend Chanel create more ad angles of for each of their products, because the path of extreme ads makeover, it just doesn't stop and has to be continuously evolving with the market. And last but not least, if you are running paid ads and you would like to have a second pair of eyes, right, to look to review your ad, to review what you having. I'm having something called the second opinion ad critique consultations. That's where I'm going to personally review your ads, per- personally review your ads, and you can so that you can see the gaps that you having, and eventually you may want to remodel the entire campaign so that you can reap more benefits from your ads. So imagine your external marketing agencies and your internal teams that you are giving them like a chunk of cauliflower florets, right? They only give you a couple floret on top, right? And then they throw out the rest, right? Meaning that that's a lot of waste, right? Your money needs to be invested wisely on that. Anyway, so that's what I have for today presentations about the Chanel's the ad teardowns and the stream makeover of Chanel's. I hope that you learned something new today. And so catch our next episodes where I'm going to share with you more interesting thing when I tear down ad from other brands such as Starbucks, Lexus, Amazon, and so on and so forth. Okay.